Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is how to do makeup 101 video for basically anyone. So from beginners to people that know a lot more about makeup, and basically just showing them how to do a full face of makeup. I've had so many questions from friends, family, asking me, how the hell do you do your makeup? How do you do this? I don't understand how you do that. Like, this honestly took like zero effort. Maybe the eyeliner, and as you see, I've had a lot of issues trying to film this video. So enough of the rambling and me going on and on about this video. If you want to know how I do my makeup on a daily basis and how I did specifically today create this look, keep on watching and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, to start off with, I would recommend that you use a primer underneath your foundation or the rest of your makeup. It just helps it kind of stay in place the whole day. Obviously you can get ones as well that will reduce the appearance of your pores, reduce texture and stuff. The one that I personally use is the Professional Matte Rescue. This is a mattifying gel which is pore blurring, mattifying and has an invisible finish. Start off with my T-zone and like where I've got pores basically. That's like the main focus. Especially if you have pores, it's good that you get even the original Professional by Benefit is really good. If you're looking for a primer. It is a little bit expensive if you're not used to buying makeup, but it's so worth it. So just putting it all over the face now. Just make sure so that's it all dry now onto my face. So the next thing is foundation. You can use so many different types of foundation, but for me I use this one, which is the 17 Stay Time foundation, which has an up to 25-hour wear and is full coverage, and I use it in the shade Fair. This is probably the best foundation I've found personally for me. I've tried different ones, gone up to more expensive ones, tried Benefit ones. I think I tried the Urban Decay one as well. I've even tried the Dior one, but for me this is probably the best one I've found, especially for my skin type, because I've got quite an oily T-zone. To apply my foundation, I use a brush. I would either recommend you use a brush or a beauty blender, but for me this is a really good brush. This is the Bare Minerals Precision Face Brush, which is actually it's like a flat angle kabuki brush, and I feel like it's really good for getting your foundation on your face. So and then I just go in circular motions and get this all over my face. After I've swirled it all around, I basically just kind of then start patting it into my face and make sure really that it's sticking to that primer as well. After that you have your foundation on your face and all sorted, you can then go and start applying concealer. For me, the concealer I use is the Benefit Blowing Airbrush Concealer. This is pretty new and I've only just kind of got this in the past week or so, but it's absolutely amazing. It's so good. You can use it on basically everything. Like the guy when I was buying it was telling me that like they have other ones that are more specifically for the under eye area, but this is a more universal one that you can use for blemishes and that as well, for the likes of highlighting, which I use it for as well. So I would recommend getting this as well. Oh yes, and I use the shade just number 1. Are you serious? Sorry, my light broke, so I had to charge it and start refilming, so I'll start again. So as I said, boing. And basically what I do is I place it basically underneath my eyes. But then I also kind of bring it down a bit. and this is where you kind of start to kind of highlight and contour. So by doing this, you're basically kind of highlighting your cheekbones, if you do it a wee bit, your nose, forehead, and chin. And then you put this in my beauty blender, so just basically tapping it in. And to set that, you're going to need to use a translucent powder. So I use this, it's the RCMA powder, it's the no colour powder, just the original one. And what I do with this is I get a beauty blender and I just kind of get the powder on and set underneath. Basically everywhere where you put that concealer. Concealer is prone to creasing, so basically if you set it with a translucent powder, it will stop that from happening. Plus as well, this is a really cheap powder. I think I got this for £8 or £12 maybe, and like I've had this for a good couple of months now, and that's all that I've used. And I use this like every time I put my foundation on and concealer on, so it's definitely worth it. And then you're basically using a big fluffy brush and wiping all the excess away. To set the rest of your face, you're going to want to then use another powder. So for me, I use one that's got like a slight colour in it. Sometimes I use a Bare Mirrors, like it's like an actual foundation, but today I think I'm just going to use, it's actually 17 Stay Time pressed powder, and as you can see there's like nothing left on this because I use it all the time, but I basically just use this to give an extra little bit of colour but not too much on my face. And I basically used the big fluffy brush that I used and basically putting that everywhere you didn't put the powder. I like to put it a bit down my neck as well because it gives it that little bit of colour that it might need. Right. So after that, you're now basically ready for contouring and highlighting, which is my favourite. Woo! So basically to contour, favourite bronzer I've ever bought, the only bronzer I've ever used in my life, it is the Benefit Hoola bronzer. As you can see, this is a well loved and yeah, this is like the best one I've ever used. It's the perfect colour for like basically all skin tones as well. So I basically just use like an angled brush, like a slightly angled brush. This is actually a Morphe brush that I got as part of a set, so it's not got a specific number on it. And basically you're just gonna go in, and the best way I do it is you basically want to go from the top of your ear to where your mouth is. So you want to kind of go along that line just there, or some people do that and get it, but you're basically just kind of going to place it. And it doesn't, because it's a bronzer, you're basically just bronzing up the skin, like you're not doing like really harsh contouring with this. You're basically just kind of brushing it all over the kind of area. You're not kind of wanting, well for me I don't go for that really sharp line, I just kind of go for a general contour. So just along that line, and same for the other side. As you can see already, like naturally, because of the line on your face, it naturally picks it up. And then what I do, I don't know why, but I've seen this once and I just do it. So the tip of the nose, like this bit here, and I think it creates more of a shadow on your nose. And then the sides, some people use a specific brush. I basically just squeeze this till it's like a fingertip. I'm really not that professional. And then you're just kind of going around the hairline as well. Just like the temples, hairline. Just ever so slightly, and it just kind of creates more of a dimension to your face. And then your jawline, just a wee bit. Yeah, it's all done with the bronzing, so once your face is all bronzed up, then doing highlight. So for me, this is basically the best kind of one I've bought, and I think probably the first proper highlight that I ever bought as well. And this is a Jeffree Star collaboration with Manny MUA Skin Frost in the shade Eclipse, and I just love it. It's the perfect colour for a skin tone. Like, it's not it's got a slight kind of pink tone in it, which makes it quite good for you. It like a light skin tone, it just kind of merges in. At the moment, again, this is just a basic Morphe brush I've got in a set, and it's just a kind of fluffy brush. It's kind of like a blending brush probably, but I just use this, and then I just go in. And basically, you're wanting to go for, see the bit here in cheeks, that's the kind of where you want the main bit of the highlight to go. Just like right here. And then you can then obviously drag it back and a wee bit forward, but there you go. Like, it's just so nice, like. And then some people as well, like, just kind of up here, but I mostly keep it just kind of right there. And as you can see, it's just an absolutely amazing highlight. And then I do a wee bit in the tip of the nose. And then whatever's excess there, I'll let it go on the hair, so you just stick it. And then the main part I like to just keep as bow, so you. I just, melts my heart, melts my heart. So that's basically the face done. So what I do before I do anything else, I set that with a setting spray. The setting spray I use at the moment is the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. I just got this recently and it's so good, like, keeps it on all day. If you're going on a night out, you come back in, you can actually sleep in your makeup, wake up the next morning and it's still flawless. So I just spray a bit of this on. Just put wet, and then I actually use a beauty blender to press it into the skin. This just makes sure it's not sitting on the baby hairs of your face, and it's actually sitting in your skin and taking away a little bit of the excess if there's too much. But then, can you ever get too much setting spray? That's questionable. The next thing to do for me is brows. For brows, my favourite brow product is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I just think this is great. I'm in the shade 4, in case you're wondering. This is just the best one that I've found for me. Like, as it says, it's so precise, and it's got the wee spoolie in the end as well, which means that you can just blend it all out afterwards. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of show you how I do my brows. Oh, that highlight. Ooh. So to start off, I basically just like do a line across the bottom of your brow to start from there. So like that. And then I'm just small brush strokes and filling in the rest. I'm quite lucky because I have quite few eyebrows as it is that I can basically just use the line itself. I can basically just kind of copy what I've got and just exaggerate what's already there, so. And then from that I then basically just spoolie it. And it just makes sure that the coverage is just kind of even, so like that. So I'll just do the next brow off of camera and I'll be right back. So that's basically both my brows on, and that's basically just how I do them kind of day to day. When I'm going out, I'll exaggerate them a bit more and I'll conceal underneath. But if you're just kind of going for a more natural, that's basically what I do. I'm really admiring this highlight and this light. I basically got a new filming setup. I got like a tripod, and I've got light now. So I'm really digging how it's making this highlight look. It's just stunning. Today I'm basically just going to do a basic eye look just to give you a feel of what I do and how I do my makeup and stuff. This is just obviously like just meant to be a kind of basic 101 how to do makeup. So yeah, it's just the kind of basic look that kind of basically anyone can achieve. So I'm actually going to use my Urban Decay Alice in Wonderland palette. This is probably one of my favourite palettes I've ever bought. Like, the colour range, like, as you can see, like, I'm on the pan because it's just that good. And, like, I mean, like, look at this. Like, look. It's a butterfly. It's just, it's stunning. So to start off with, I'm going to use my Bone Concealer as, like, basically an eyelid primer. I recommend again that you prime your eyelids before you put eyeshadows on. It will keep it there longer and it will stop. Okay, then my memory just was full. So again, filming again, okay. As I said, I'm going to use my Benefit Blowing Airbrush Concealer as an eyelid primer. Basically just popping that like all over the lid, and it gives the eyeshadow something to stick to as well. So I'm going to start off with this palette, and the first thing I always recommend is use a transition shade. So a transition shade is like a light shade, probably usually a nude colour, and it just kind of makes your eyeshadow, blend a lot better, because if you have that base and you're not using a bold colour first, it will blend a lot easier. So I'm actually just going to use a basic, this is I think a 17 brush, it cost me like £2, and I'm going to go into this colour here called Reflection. I'm just going to pop this all over the lid. And if anything, this can be quite messy because we're going to use a blending brush anyway to blend it all out. But I usually use this quite high up, so I take it quite high on the eye. That rhymed and I didn't even mean it. And then I'm going to use this NYX brush, number 16, and it's a blending brush. And again, my memory is full, but basically you're basically just going to blend this all out in circular motions and just kind of get it. And as you'll see, it basically just kind of makes it a lot more blended on the eyelid. Just like that. So that's always step number one, is to basically use a transition shade. So the next shade I'm going to go in with is this shade here. This is probably one of my favourite shades on this, and it's Zalazen Grum, it's called. And I'm going to use this same brush. And basically just lightly pack that on. Because as well this is a slightly shimmery shade, the fallout will probably happen, so the easiest way to stop that fallout is to basically dab on instead of kind of brushing on, because then you're going to get the fallout. Just like that, and then again with the next blending brush, I'm basically just blending those edges out. Just like that, and that's basically all I'm going to do for the eye. And now we are going to do eyeliner. I've already done a tutorial on eyeliner, which I'll leave linked down in the description if you want to have a look. But from that I've actually changed eyeliner. I now use the Urban Decay Razor Sharp in Perversion, and yeah, for me the Kat Von D became a lot less pigmented and a kind of lot harder to use once it got drier. So I've recently changed to this and seen how this lasts. So basically what I'll do is I'll do one eye on camera and kind of show you again how I do my eyeliner, just so you know basically how I do my eyeliner again in case you haven't seen the previous video, and then it'll be on to mascara and lashes. So one thing I would recommend though is this is not an eyeliner for beginners. This is really quite hard to use, and it's only really because I know how that I can actually use it, because basically, if you can see, it's basically just a small kind of felt tip. If you are a beginner, I would recommend that you use more a felt tip type brush. Like for example, I have this one here, it's the MUA Eye Define Felt Liner. I would recommend something like this, and it's got like a felt tip, so it's basically like a pen and it's so much easier to use. But I'm just going to try this because basically I know how to do eyeliner, so why not? Okay, as I said in the previous video, you basically want to follow your eye shape up and basically kind of just draw a straight line straight up. You're not wanting to make a, but that's where I start. You basically just want to do a straight line straight up. Like that, straight line, straight up. And then, oh god. And then a straight line down. This is a thick wing today, guys, just so you know. Until you get a shape like this. And then what you're wanting then to do is from here, kind of connect it all up. Are you kidding me on? Okay, we're back. I fixed the dot to put in my face. So, from here, like a straight line. And then you're basically just wanting to make sure that you've got like a completely kind of straight. Oh, swear to God, what's happened today? Oh my god. What is happening? Okay, fix my. So basically like that, you just want to create a completely like kind of straight line. And that's basically the easiest way I do it. So basically I'm going to do the other one off camera and hope for no more mistakes, and I'll be right back. Okay, both eyes done. They're not exactly equal today, but that'll do for this video. Okay, we're having some major issues for trying to record this video. The next thing is mascara, and something I would always recommend is using eyelash colours first. It just makes sure your eyelashes stand up instead of just kind of going straight. One mascara I do recommend though is the one that I'm obviously going to use, is the Benefit Roller Lash, and it generally does lift your eyelashes up. It's the best one I've ever tried. So it'd be something I would recommend using. Obviously, eyelash colours and the roller lash, your eyelashes are like a way up, and it's absolutely brilliant. So just press, and then using some mascara. As you can see, like the difference. You can see them while we're standing up. At the moment, we're just going to do the top lashes, because the bottom lashes, for the bottom lashes, I would always recommend that you put a little bit of shadow underneath your eye as well. It just makes the top half not look as heavy. So I'm basically just going to go in with that kind of reddy shade and just brush underneath. And oh, I'm using another Morphe brush, and this is just basically a kind of flat packing brush really. And you basically just place, that underneath. It just makes it look better, guys. Trust me. Like that. You're going in again for the bottom lashes. Like so. So I'm just going to do the other eye and be. That's us done for that. So basically that is nearly done. But one thing I always like to do is put a little bit of highlighting in a corner. I just feel like it opens the eyes up a lot more. I'm actually going to use my Alice in Wonderland palette again, and I'm going to go in with this colour here, which is Royal Flush, and I'm just going to go in, this is another Morphe brush, and it's just a really small packing brush, and we're just going to go in and place it in there, just like that. And what you can also do is see here, just in the brow bone itself. Again, out of memory, what I went ahead and done was basically just highlight just kind of here. Just something that you can just give it that little bit of extra pop, which is really nice. So that's basically, the eye's basically done, and now it's time for lashes. So the lashes that I've recently bought, which I'm absolutely in love with, which is the So Sue by Suzanne Jackson, which are exclusive to Primark. This is in the style Kylie, these ones, and like just absolutely beautiful. The only downfall is they don't come with glue, but they are only £5, so you can't really complain. I just have eyelash glue from other eyelashes that I bought, so I'm just going to use that. This is the Allure Lash Fix. You're just going to take them off out of the packaging. And you want to put glue along the lash line. Leave them for a good maybe 15 seconds, and this just allows the glue to get tacky, for then put them on your eye. Once the glue is then tacky, you basically want to place them on your eye. So as you guess, you put them on your lash line. just like so. Just like, oh wow, just like so. I mean, look at the difference. Like, absolutely stunning. Like, for £5 though. And they're so good. And, like, they're good enough, like, you can reuse them. They're not even as if they're wrecked after one use. So, if you can't afford massively, you know, the mink lashes or whatever, I'd definitely get yourself to Primark if you're in the UK or Ireland, I think, obviously. But, yeah, definitely worth the buy. So I'm just going to put this second lash on and then I'll be right back. Okay, so it's both lashes on. As you can see, absolutely beautiful. Like, so stunning. So the only last thing to do is lips. And for me, I wouldn't say I'm the best at doing lipstick. But I do have a few. For this look, I think I'll basically just do kind of basic nude colour to go with it. What I'm going to use is I'm going to use a lip liner, and it's the Maybelline New York in the colour Sensational in the shade Dusty Rose. And these are really good. I really like these ones, are so creamy. So basically you're just going to line your lips, so basically follow the line of your lips. Just as so. This basically just stops any sort of. One I'm going to use is the NYX Cosmetics. It's the lingerie collection and the shade Ruffle Trim. This is a really nice colour. It's got like a. Okay, memory is full again. I am not refilming on my phone ever again, let's just say that. But yeah, as I was saying, it's like a nude colour, but it's really warm toned and it's really, really nice if you're wearing like the likes of like an orange eye or a red eye. This is a really nice nude to go with it. What I really like about these, they're not like really, really liquidy. Like, they're really quite creamy. So they go on more like a gloss and then like matte down, which is really, really nice. That's basically us, guys. That's like the completed look. You can have a wee close up, like highlight on point, guys, as you can see. But this is basically just, as I was saying, like it's a makeup 101, basic makeup, how to do makeup, because I've had so many questions like my friends like, oh, but how do you do this and how do you do that, and this is basically it. Like, this is like kind of basis of everything I do. Yeah, obviously eye makeup, it can be a lot more complicated, but this is just, you know, quite a basic and simple look that basically kind of anyone can achieve, really. Maybe not the eyeliner. I know that people struggle with eyeliner, but on a normal basis, this is basically a kind of everyday makeup that everyone can achieve. I hope you guys liked it and I hope that you find it useful. I hope that, you know, people can actually think that and see how easy these looks can be achieved, and it. You don't need to be a professional, you don't need to be, you know, a makeup artist or whatever to be able to do good makeup. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and have a look at any other videos that I've also done. My name's Caitlin and this is the channel Kate Does Makeup. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.